so I didn't know about the opening statement. Hey guys, Ty Simpson's our starter. How's that? Pretty good? Okay, let her ride. What do we got?
Why's Ty Simpson your starter?
There we go. Good follow-up. Ty did a really nice job of, taking care of the football. I think number one, I think Ty is an incredible playmaker on the move, and I think from there, guys like that, you worry, are they going to be able to train themselves to be able to take care of the football? And I just even the room in general, Ty led that charge, but Ty didn't throw any picks last week. He's thrown one all camp. We've thrown like 4 total this camp, and this spring, I think at this time we had thrown like 15. So I think in general the guys are understanding the concepts and control the offense a lot better as a room, and Ty was the best at that. And so his ability to command and create out of the pocket, I thought was the best, make great decisions. And, he's just much cleaner on some of the things that you expect an older quarterback to be able to do.
You mentioned the interceptions. Are you still seeing the quarterbacks, Ty specifically, push the ball down the field in fall camp?
Yeah, we are, absolutely. Let's see, I mean, I don't know what today was, but we'd had 6 practices in a row where we hit our explosive number. So we've certainly been able to get the ball down the field, which is great because I think our defense does a good job of trying to limit those, so which was a lot better. I don't know if we had 5 days of that all of spring. So 6 in a row, I think we had 8 out of 10 practices, so we were rolling a little bit.
Brian, what was the message to Austin and Keelan when, I guess, moving forward with Ty being the official starter now?
Well, I think for those guys, I know, they have to continue to progress. I think that for quarterbacks in general, any position is tough, but the development of a quarterback to continue to move forward during a season, I think is the toughest thing. Like that's the thing. Like you have to find ways to generate both coaching staff wise to create looks and opportunities that those guys don't just pause. Young quarterbacks are really talented like Austin and Keelan. What you don't want is that the starters named and all this improvement that they've been making to this point just comes to a screeching halt. So that part they totally understood. I know they're up to the task, and I think there's a huge part of that is just the relationships and the bond that's been built in that room. I told the guys, I thought one of the things that stood out to me the most about that room was there never was this feeling of somebody conceding. So like, oh, Ty's going to be the guy. There was never an approach by any of the 3 guys that it was like it's him or him. At the same time, it was all organic. Guys were able to focus on their job and just be the best quarterback they can be. And I think that they all developed because of the type of room that we have. So tip of the cap to those guys. I don't think that's coaching. I think that's just the guys doing a really good job of just focusing on themselves. And, I think Austin and Keelan will be up to that.
Have you decided upon number 2 yet?
Nope. We're still working through all that. Those guys will continue to rep. I think you'd be pigeonholing yourself a little bit on reps and opportunity for both those guys to get better.
Ty gets the job that's announced to the team. What's your message to him after that?
Just don't change anything. We still got a lot of stuff to clean up. Remember what got you the job, the things that, you're a challenge to improve on after spring and that you did do to this point in camp. Nothing has to change. So I think he's just got to keep improving on the things that he knows he has to work on. And this is just, it's announcement. It's a starting point. If you have any kind of finality to this announcement, whether you're the backup or the starter, I think, they're going to rob themselves of some really good opportunities.
What was the team's response to Ty being named the starter?
Supportive. I think, the guys have been supportive of all 3 guys, but certainly Ty's shown the most leadership and command, so I don't think anybody was caught off guard by that. But I thought, we did a good job as a coaching staff. I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back, but trying to let it play its course and make sure the team saw Ty earn it. I think that's important for Ty, too, that he can come out there and his teammates know that he went and earned that spot. And they've been great, offense and defense.
How would you describe Ty's leadership, his style?
Ty's pretty fiery. He's a pretty fiery guy. I've really been impressed how he's been able to kind of calm that. I always thought I was wildly impressed in my time with Geno Smith. He's a fiery competitor as well. But I always told Ty, like, Geno's ability to get back to room temperature quickly and be able to process and be an elite quarterback was something that I was always just amazed by. And I told Ty, that's what you got to be, is a guy that can have composure and realize there's different times that, release points. You score a touchdown, you want to go crazy, right? But up to then, you just got to be a smooth operator.
You got to watch a lot of Ty's film, I assume, from last year and previous years.
Yep.
Where do you think he's made the biggest growth, and where do you still sort of want to see him continue to grow?
I would say poise and decision making. I think that his eyes would drop and he would give up on stuff really, really quickly because he is so athletic and can move. And now I just feel like, he's very poised back there. I think anytime you have a guy that can balance those two things, be an explosive athlete out of the pocket, but also know that he doesn't have to do it every time, I think that's the thing you love to see out of a guy like Ty.
Kind of threw Kalen Russell into the fire. I mean, immediately as a freshman, put him in a quarterback battle and things like that. What have you seen from Keelan as he kind of approached the pressure of a quarterback battle almost immediately on his arrival here, and how have you seen him grow?
Coach Sheridan and Coach DeBoer did a phenomenal job recruiting Key, and I thought their assessment when I got here was spot on. That he's a very composed player for a young player, and even when it's not perfect and things aren't going Key's way, I think he's able to just slow the game down. And I think that that's something that's, somewhat innate that he can just do. And so I think when you can build and then you continue to build on the knowledge base and understanding the system, he'll just keep getting better. So he's a really, really calm, excellent player with great vision.
How has Ty been in the quick game and just making the right reads with the underneath stuff?
Today specifically, I thought, we had some sequencing stuff where we're lining up in second and extra long or second and long and trying to get a first down with 3 downs. And quick game showed up in those scenarios, and he hit every one of them. So I was really impressed, just his ability to get the ball out, make decisive decisions, have his eyes in the right spot. And a lot of times quick game just comes down to that, is being decisive and making sure you're reading the right spot.
What can you do from a leadership standpoint over the next couple of weeks or going into the first game after being named starter?
Just keep being him, honestly. I think if he started acting out of character or doing some things that he hadn't done to this point, I think that would be the red flag for the team or the guys. I think that he's established the type of person he is in the locker room. He's known these guys for a long time. And just keep being himself. My advice to him was just be authentic. As long as he does that, locker room has the best read for that. They know when guys aren't, and just stay in the wheelhouse.
Right, he's the one quarterback in this group that the staff did not recruit. How did he gain your trust, Galen's trust overall?
Well, I think that's a great question. And I will say this. One of my main messages to Ty was that he did earn it. And, that I thought that he was a little bit careless with the football, and that was something that I wanted to make sure that as a decision maker, with a good team and a lot of great supporting cast around him, you just want to make sure you can distribute the ball. And I thought for him, calming the game down, slowing it down, and being authentic in the meeting room, like just not trying to say things to impress a coach or like say something to show that you understand the coverage, asking genuine questions. I just being in the meeting room with him every day, I trust him in that regard, and I think that was a huge part for our growth.
Kalen had said after the scrimmage that by the second scrimmage, you want to name the quarterback. So kind of why was yesterday the right time? Was it that he showed enough in that first scrimmage that made you say you trust him? But
Yeah, it was. I really felt like he had showed enough through camp to be, kind of the dominant player in the room, and I felt like it was the best thing for the team just to move forward, and get the guys going and give some establishment to that position so the team could get behind him.
Last question.
You mentioned Geno Smith, but going back to Jake Hayner, Michael Penix,
Yeah.
what's the common thread that you need to see in your starting quarterback, and how does Simpson have that?
Decision making and vision. Those are the two things. And for Ty, that's the thing, is he's got good vision, and his decision making has went off the charts compared to what it was. And he just keeps doing that and being himself. He'll be a really, really good quarterback. Okay. Thanks, everybody.